Hey everybody, this is Amber. Amber is a game in which each player is going to be taking upon the role of a strange jeweler, merchant / alchemist that is going to be trying to turn precious amber into even more precious jewels and then deliver those precious jewels to villages and castles and what have you, where hopefully somebody will eventually want to buy them, and then they can earn money and then end up being very rich at the end of the game and winning the game. The crux of the problem is that this is a press your luck game. The press your luck is a deck that has a lot of good things and bad things in it, and the players are going to be, on your turn, you're going to be flipping cards over one by one and, you know, pushing your luck and trying to make sure that you get cards that are going to give you nice, cool improvements, and possibly, if you can push your luck far enough, then you can also get escorts that are going to protect you on your travels. You're going to get cool event cards that are going to be able to strengthen you and weaken your opponents. And unfortunately, if you do really, really well, maybe some demons are going to set upon your path. Along with, there's like thieves and looters that are going to be wanting to take your gold and jewels. There's strange and mystical oracles that are going to creep you out. And of course, these very nubile and like seductive ladies that will attempt to force you to press your luck even further. All these things are bad, and if you get enough bad things to happen to you on your turn, then your turn is over and you're not going to be able to do the very, very important actions that are actually going to allow you to do all of those things, that alchemical process I was talking about, the selling of the gems and what have you. So let me go ahead and show you how the game is played. It like many press your luck games, the mechanisms are relatively simple. It's just the decision of each player of having to make on their turn of how far they're going to push their luck is where the trick is, and is where that wonderful like kind of reveal moment where everybody's watching what the players are doing and like either cursing their good luck or cheering their bad luck, which makes for a fun time because everybody's kind of focused and having an interesting time by the actions being taken by the person who's having their turn. But anyway, I'm kind of already talking about my conclusion, so let me show you how the game is played, and we'll come back here and I'll tell you my final thoughts. Alright, so this is the Press Your Luck game of Amber. I'm going to show you how to play it. Just so you know, what you're seeing in front of you is the prototype components that I was sent, whereas like the artwork, I believe, is going to stay the same when the game is published. Some of the things you might see, like these gold cubes and the gems and whatever, and these escort tokens, might look a little different in the final published version. Alright, so each player is going to start with the same exact 4 cards in front of them. The 4 cards are your Amber Forests, where you're going to be able to collect your amber. Then an Alchemy card, which then will change your amber that you collect into gems. Then a Traveler card, and this is the person that you've hired to take your gems and deliver them to a village. And then that village then will hold on to the gems in the village until you're able to sell them. The whole part of the game here is you will be turning cards over on your turn and flipping them over and going through the process of like pressing your luck, basically. You turn a card over, you'll have a good or a bad result. And you'll have to deal with the bad results by using your escorts to defeat them, or if you don't have any escorts or choose not to defeat them, you will then leave them on the board. The whole idea is that you're trying to, if you want to, get to 7 cards displayed. Each card is going to be considered a day of travel, and each card is also considered to be an action once you get done with the pressing your luck portion. If you do get 3 of the bad cards, the cards that have a black background, you are considered to be scared off of the trail, and you've gone to a safe route, and you don't get to do anything, and you're only going to get 1 action after everything's done. So this is one of those things where it's like, oh, if you get 2 bad cards, do I keep turning cards over? And so that's where the press your luck action comes in. So on your turn, as I said, it's pretty simple. You will take one of these cards and you'll flip it over. Now, okay, so I'm going to kind of explain these cards as I show them. I just shuffled this. I don't know what's coming up. And I'm going to go through the deck as well to show you some of the things. And I should also mention that you do have more of these cards because the game lasts 2 rounds. Rounds are determined by the number of time after you go through that entire deck. And then you reshuffle that, and then you're going to add these cards to it. And I'll show you these cards as well here in just a little bit. But you're going to add those cards to the deck, and then you're going to go through it again. After the second round, whoever has the most gold, who's ever made the most money, will win. Alright, so this is another Traveler card. And I'm just going to pick up my other one here. So, the idea is that, like this Traveler, he's willing to take 3 yellow gems and 1 blue gem in his travels, and that's what he's willing to take for me. Basically because he's either, doesn't have really good equipment, or that's as brave as he is to be traveling with that much jewelry. This gentleman, it has maybe, he's got some more weapons, whatever, and he's just a little more brave. He's got like that look of grim determination on his face. He's willing to take these sorts of gems. Now this is a good card because this is something that if I can make some money, and if I have some money left over, I can purchase him to do an upgrade for 2 coins there. So so I'll put that there, and that's good, right? Because nothing bad happened. Now I'm free to turn another card over. So let's see what I get here. All right, so here we go. So this is a card. This is a bad card. You can see that has the black background, and this is the 3 Ladies card. The 3 Ladies card forces you to draw another card, even if you've hit 7 cards that you revealed. Like a week is 7 days, and that's the max number of cards you can have. And I'll talk a little bit more, because you do get bonuses for turning over 5, 6, and 7 cards. But even if this is like your 7th card, you'd still have to draw another card. But that's what they basically force you to press your luck. So you've gotten 1 bad card. But notice that there's this little dagger or sword there. You're able to, if you have escorts, you're able to use an escort token and put it on that card, discard both of these then, and you wouldn't have those in your tableau. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. Maybe I'm holding on my escorts. I just want to kind of show you what happens. Alright, so now here we have a bandit. The bandit will, you'll want to steal a blue gem from you. If you don't have a blue gem, it will take like another gem. It'll take like a red gem. Because, you don't have that. It'll take a yellow gem. And if you don't have any gems, it'll take a gold. If you don't have any gold, your turn's over. You're going to have gold, though. You even start with 3 gold to begin with. But, but if for some reason you had no money and no gems, he would, your turn would be over. But once again, here you have the little sword, and if I wanted to, I could spend an escort, do that. I discard the escort, and I can discard this card and put it aside. I wouldn't have to deal with the bad card. Alright, so now here, this is another village. Notice how, I'm going to show you this village real quick here. This village will house 3 gems, and it can house gems of the yellow and blue. And you'll notice that this has the 3 different colors, so it can now house up to 8, and they can sit on that. So you can see where that would be better. And once again, this is a good card. I can put it there, and alright, so let's say that I didn't want to do this. It's a card I ran out of escorts. I would lose like my yellow gem because of that, and maybe now I want to stop. But here's the deal. If you can get to 5, 6, and 7 cards, you actually get a bonus for being brave and continuing on. So it kind of adds to the press your luck aspect of it, because you want to keep going, because you want to get to unlock the bigger and better things. However, I should mention that there is the snake demon up here, that if you end up going to 5, the snake demon decides to follow along with you because you I don't know, you're because of your bravery, because of the fact that you wanted to keep going. But on the 5th day, you get the snake card because that draws his attention. But on the 6th day, you get to take a card from the events deck, which I'm going to show you here. The events are, as you can probably guess, just ways that you can use to break the rules. Events just are going to do certain things that either you're going to be able to hurt other people or they're going to help you out. So like you could, and this might not make a lot of sense until I show you actually how you continue a turn, or how you do like the second phase of your turn, which is, you know, collecting your amber and using alchemy. But, you know, this will make sense when I get to that portion. Like some of the events, like, will just give you an escort. Like you draw this card, you can turn it over, and you can get an escort. Some of these will be you get extra. You can make extra money when you do a trade action, when you actually do commerce. You can play this like it has bad alchemy. Notice how they lose 2 gems. You can play that on somebody and their alchemy goes awry, and so they're going to lose. You could play this on somebody and you notice how that escort is all like kind of beaten up and not a real good one. You know, he takes off, and so you could take away somebody's escort like that. Some of these even can mess with the people's like ability, like the level of their forest and things like that, where they create their amber. So getting one of these cards is never a bad thing. There's no limit to the number of cards, event cards you can have in your hand. You can always be collecting those if you're willing to take the gamble and get to 6 days. On the 7th day, you will automatically just get an escort. You know, because you've shown your bravery. And if you get to 7 days, somebody will come and join you, and you'll get another escort to help you deal with the bad guys that you're going to be dealing with on travel. So let's just go ahead and turn another card over. And so then we got another, so that's 5. Okay, so that means we're going to get the Snake Demon. And the Snake Demon is going to follow us. Now, if the Snake Demon is with somebody else, you're not going to get it. So it's kind of one of those weird things where it's like the first person to go to 5 is going to get this guy. So a lot of people aren't going to want to do it. The whole trick with the Snake Demon is that on your next turn, you're going to start off your turn by putting that demon down. So you're going to start with a black card. And it's going to count towards the 3 that you're going to try not to get. So, but we get this, and we just put that, you know, over by our side here to represent the fact that we're going to have that. As soon as we start our next turn, we put that Snake Demon down, and then after our turn's done, he goes back up on the top like so, and then we're going to go ahead and the next person who gets the 5 or whatever. So, you know, it is one of those things where, you know, you could possibly get them a couple times or even a row. But, you know, it does happen. So let's see if I win one more. Oh, I got lucky. So I got a trade, actually, and that's probably a good thing. I get to 6 like that. I get to take an event card for my troubles. And this is a bonus to trade. So that's always a good thing. I don't have any red gems yet, but maybe when I finally do get red gems, I could use this to get extra money for using. So, you know, if I go to 7, I get an escort, right? So, well, I'm going to kind of cheat, and I'm just going to go. Oh, so I got another trade. So, I mean, cool. I got like a trade option, but I get to 7 days, and that means I would get an escort from a draw. And now I'd have to stop. Now, I do want to show you some other cards that are in here that you may have seen. So this is a card. This is an Oracle. When you get the Oracle, notice it is black base, but this actually does give you a bonus. You can't get rid of him. Notice how there is no sword down here. When you get the Oracle, it allows you to peek at the next card. And so you can see if it's something you want or not. So, you know, yeah, that kind of stinks to get it, but, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, maybe you'll want to get it. And I'm looking for another alchemy card here. Oh, so like here is like a better alchemy card. So notice how I'm going to compare like the old one to this one so you can kind of see. So like here, you get like with the, you're going to be able to get, you know, 1, 2, or 3 gems or 1 blue gem with when you increase your forest over here. Whereas with this alchemy, and it costs 3 coins, as you can see, to improve. But you get 2, and then 3 or 1, or you can get 1 red gem. So you can see where, like, the better alchemy would be very helpful. And then there's one other card that I wanted to show you, and it might actually be in, like, the upgrades or whatever, the ones in here, which I'll show you here in a second. But so we'll come back to that in just a moment. But The only other thing is, somewhere when we're done, is that we're going to go ahead and go through our turn. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to determine like the amber we have. So we only have the one tree, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get one amber, and then we only can do that for one of these gems, like so, right? We can put that on there. But then we have this guy who will travel with 3 yellow gems or 1 blue gem. He will travel and he'll take those 2 to this village that we have right over here. Now we can go ahead and we can sell those. And if we look at the trade, we can see that we have this, and he's willing to, he'll give us a coin for each one that we sell with that trade option. And so when we trade these in, we go ahead and just discard these, and we're going to go ahead and take those 2 like so. Now there is one thing I actually didn't mention about the thieves. If they actually do steal, and I should have gotten rid of that gem, I apologize, but you understand what I'm talking about. If the thieves ever steal any gold or gems, they go up to this like the thieves' hideout here, and so anybody's stolen gems and gold go there. And players are able to go and take those by using 3 escorts, by going up there and like capturing all the gold and gems that the thieves have stolen. So, you don't just, when the stuff gets stolen from you, you do put it up in the treasure trove that's up there. All right, so I wanted to tell, so after you get through this deck, you will shuffle up and you'll add these cards, which I'll add, and then you also add the red demon. The red demon that has this, whoever has the most money, the red demon will follow. And so that's another thing. So basically those are kind of like catch-up mechanisms, both of those are. The people that are like pushing their luck and going further are going to be the ones that are probably going to have more stuff, and they're getting lucky. So that's why you get the snake demon, and then the people with the most money obviously are winning, and that's why they get the red demon. It's a good way to make sure that like you don't have a runaway leader situation. All right, so like I said, and then after everything's done, then you can do 1 improvement. Your improvements can either be to improve your forest. If that costs 2 coins, or then it costs 3 coins to go to the final one. Or you can buy one of those cards. You also can spend 1 gold coin to buy an escort as well. So, but you remember, you can only do 1. Doesn't matter how much gold you have. You can't say, oh, I'm going to buy a village, and I'm going to buy a forest. And so, like, if you bought the village, what you would do is you would just replace that with what you have, like so. And then you'd improve the tableau that's in front of you. And I always like games that allow you to kind of improve things and as you move along. It's obviously like the alchemy one's like really important, because that's how you get a lot of good gems, how you can get those red gems. All right, so the other thing, like I said, this might be tough to see, but you can always tell, like, notice that there is this little hourglass there. So those are the improvements. And like these, I wanted to show you this. Like this is a gang of robbers. So it takes you 2 swords or 2 escorts to defeat them, and they steal gold from you directly. And then like you have upgrades like these big castle areas that can hold 10 gems. And mind you, like if you don't have the ability to sell, like the gems will sit on that last spot, and they will sit there and wait for you to get a card that will allow you to sell them. And until you actually get a trade card that allows you to sell them, they will sit on that village while they're waiting for somebody that wants to buy those. But the upgrade cards, like here you have, like here's like a knight, he's like got a horse, and so he can move quickly, and look at all those gems that he can carry. He can carry a ton. So when you add these cards, like these are the definite big improvement cards that you add to the deck. But you play through the game, you empty out that deck twice. After all is said and done, you're going to total up the amount of money that each person has. Whoever has the most money will be declared the winner of Amber. This is a very fast but very fun push your luck game. Enhanced a great deal by the artwork and the theme of the game, which I really enjoyed. I like games that have little miniature economies that you have to, and I like things that you get to upgrade as you go along. It makes you feel like you're like making choices and you're doing improvements, and those are things that I like about games like this. But let me talk about more on that and other things here in the final thoughts. Oh, jeez. I should mention like this says Amber here. The actual game, as you probably already know, is Ambar, B-A-R. I mean, they just changed the name after I got this box, but regardless, the game itself, you know, is the same. So I already kind of went into a little bit of why I liked it. I do want to mention two quick things that I think I forgot to mention as far as the rules go. After a person takes their turn, and this is actually kind of important because I think this adds a lot to the game. After the person takes their turn, they will do their upgrades, right? So if there are still available upgrades on the board, in turn order, each person can then in turn purchase one of the upgrades if they want to. It does cost them an extra gold to do so. So if it's like a village that would cost you 2 gold, it would cost you 3 gold if you wanted to purchase it. So that's actually really important because, and really helpful because, you know, it actually like makes the decision of the person that's taking their improvement turn, like, oh my gosh, you know, do I, you know, which do I think the other player would want, you know, which one do I buy, that sort of thing. So, you know, it can actually make for a fun and interesting decision at that point when you're making that. And I also should mention that, like, there is this really cool economy of, like, you're spending the gold that's going to determine whether or not you win the game to improve yourself. So it's one of those things where it's like you want to front-end spend your victory points and then start collecting them after you get your engine going, as long as your press your luck is clever. But I should also mention, especially when, like, the evil red demon comes out and starts chasing whoever's got the most gold, well, you kind of want to spend your gold at that point, right? Because maybe you want to stay, like, 1 or 2 gold behind the leader, so, you know, they are the ones that, like, have that extra, you know, bad card in front of them, and it isn't you. But regardless, I mean, I'm kind of talking a little bit about the strategy of the game that I actually really like. You know, a lot of press your luck games are just that. Okay, roll the dice, pick them up, roll the dice, pick them up, roll it. Oh, I lost. You know, but I do like, and those can be fun, but I do like press your luck games that actually have that underlying tough decision, that friction to the decision that makes it tough for you to decide what you want to do. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, like, just like the cards that, like, can do improvements, the commerce cards, the one that allows people to sell their gems, the same thing. If you turn over extra like trading cards, and you're only going to use one, right? So well, I mean, you know, if you only are able to use one, I shouldn't say only use one, but if you're only able to use one, there's still some of them left over. Then once again, as you go around turn order, and other players are able to use those, also giving you other options, other decisions that you're going to end up making as far as the game is concerned as well. Like, you know, if you like, you have an oracle card, say, on the 5th card, and you really want to draw that 6th card because it's going to give you an event, but you look and it's going to be a trade card, a trade that you're not going to be able to do anything, and you're just going to be giving the next person in turn a bunch of coins because they're going to be able to use it, because you look over at their village and they have a bunch of gems just sitting there waiting to be sold, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, you know. So cool little decisions like that happen that I really appreciate about the game. So as you know, like, if you've watched videos that I've done before, I do like Press Your Luck, and these are the types of games that I said in the introduction. Everybody at the table is focused on what's going on, especially because the cards, if you're like the next person in line, the cards of the person that's drawing, you have a very good chance of being able to use some of those, because they aren't going to be used by the player, you know, necessarily, that's doing the drawing. So, you know, anytime where everybody is focused, everybody's having fun, everybody's enjoying what's going on, and you don't have people, like, waiting for their turn and they're, you know, sitting on their phone, you know, maybe even playing another board game on their phone, waiting for their turn to come up, as you know, and stuff like that, and everybody's laughing and having a good time. That, for me, is a great board game experience, and this game delivers on that. So I enjoy it a great deal. If you have any questions about Amber, just go ahead and ask those, and I'll answer those as best as I possibly can. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Until next time, I'm the Viking, telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.